Picture a small courtroom in Pineview, a mountain town cradled by the Rockies, where the air feels thick with whispers and judgment. Clara Hayes, a 28-year-old park ranger with a heart as wild as the forest she protects, stands accused of a crime that cuts deep, murdering her mentor, Dr. Alan Reed. Her hands, calloused from years of tracking trails, tremble as she faces a jury, their eyes hard, already convinced she's guilty. At her side sits Max, her German shepherd, his amber eyes sharp, scanning the room like he knows something no one else does. Max isn't just a dog. He's Clara's partner, her family, trained to find lost hikers and sniff out danger. Judge Ellen Carver, a woman with a steely gaze and a soft spot for fairness. Let Max stay in court, a small mercy for Clara's breaking heart. But as the prosecution paints her as a killer, Max's ears twitch, his stare locking on a man in the back row. Clara's breath catches. Max is trying to tell her something, and it might just save her life. The jury's decision looms, and Clara feels the weight of every second. Max's quiet signal is a spark of hope in a room full of doubt, a whisper of truth she's desperate to hear. Clara and Max go way back, to a rainy night when she found him, a shivering pup abandoned in Pineview's vast national park. She raised him to be her shadow, teaching to track scents through tangled forests to guard her on lonely patrols. Together, they save lives, hikers lost in storms, kids wandering too far. Dr. Reed, a botanist with a gentle smile and a love for the park's secrets, was their guide, showing Clara the hidden magic of rare plants and forgotten caves. The night Reed died, Clara and Max were with him at Raven's Creek, cataloging a fern he swore could change medicine. He sent them home early, his voice tight, promising to meet later. Hours later, his body was found, stabbed, his notes gone. The police came for Clara, her fingerprint on a knife, a gift from Reed, making her the perfect suspect. Now in court, Max's low whine pulls her back. His eyes are fixed on a man in a gray suit, a stranger Clara doesn't know, but Max clearly does. She leans to her lawyer, Tom Vega, her voice barely a whisper. Max sees something. That guy in the back, he's important. Tom nods, trusting the bond between Clara and her dog. Something's stirring, and Max is leading the way. Tom, a lawyer who fights for the underdog with fire in his gut, knows Max is more than a pet. He's seen him find a child in a blizzard, sniff out poachers in the dark. What's he doing? Tom asks, watching Max's ears perk, his paw tapping the floor, a signal Clara knows means danger. The man in the gray suit shifts, his face unreadable, but Max doesn't waver, his gaze like a laser. The prosecution calls a witness, a park worker claiming Clara fought with Reed over research credit. It's a lie. Clara loved Reed like a father, but the jury leans in, believing it. Max's whine sharpens, his paw tapping faster, and Clara's heart races. She knows that signal. It's Max saying, "Look closer." She nudges Tom. That man, Max won't let him go. Tom scribbles a note, his jaw tight. We'll find out who he is. Keep Max steady. But Clara feels it. Max isn't just restless. He's pointing them to the truth, and she's got to follow before it's too late. After court, Clara, Tom, and Max huddle in a cramped office, the air heavy with hope and fear. Tom's investigator, Lila Brooks, a former ranger with a knack for digging up secrets, pulls up a photo. That's Victor Klein, she says. Works for Green Pulse, a biotech company funding park research. Clara's stomach twists. Reed had warned her about Green Pulse, their greed for the park's resources, their push to exploit what he fought to protect. Max nudges Clara's hand, his eyes steady, like he's saying, "I've got you." She remembers Reed's words. Max knows more than you think. Had he trained Max to spot trouble? To protect his work? "What do you know, boy?" she whispers, her voice thick with emotion. Lila's voice cuts through. Green Pulse has money, power, and no morals. If Victor's involved, we're in deep. Clara strokes Max's fur, her resolve hardening. Max's signal is her only lead, and she's not letting it slip away. Tom begs Judge Carver for a trial delay, citing new evidence. She gives him 48 hours, her eyes sharp but curious. Clara takes Max back to Raven's Creek, the place where Reed died, hoping the forest will spark his memory. The creek hums, the trees whispering secrets, and Max's nose is low, his tail stiff. He bolts down a hidden trail, stopping at a mossy rock, paw like it's life or death. Clara digs, her hands shaking, and finds a vial. Reads handwriting on the label, a rare fern extract he'd been studying. Her heart pounds. This is what Reed died for, what Greenpulse wanted. Max's eyes meet hers, steady and sure, like he's saying, "We're close." They race back to town, the vial tucked in Clara's pack. Max's signal wasn't random. He's leading them to the truth, but the forest feels alive with danger, and Clara knows they're not alone. At Tom's office, Lila tests the vial. It's a compound from a fern, she says. Could be worth millions in medicine. Greenpulse was desperate for it. Clara's mind races. Reed had been cagey about his work, warning her about corporate greed. Had they killed him to steal it? And framed her to cover it up? Max lies close, his warmth a steady anchor. Tom's voice is grim. We need to connect Victor to this. Max's signal puts him at the center. Clara nods, remembering Max's paw tapping in court, his eyes locked on Victor. Reed must have trained him to spot threats, to protect his secrets. He's our witness, she says, her voice fierce. Lila warns them, Greenpulse will fight dirty. We need more than a vial. Clara pets Max, feeling his strength. They're in deep, but Max's signal is their guide, and she's not turning back. Tom subpoenas Victor, dragging him into court. Victor's gray suit is crisp, his answer slick, but Max isn't fooled. His growl is low, his paw tapping as Victor claims he only consulted with Reed. Clara's heart races. Max is calling his bluff, and she sees Judge Carver notice, her eyes narrowing. Tom presses, his voice sharp. Were you at Ravens Creek the night Reed died? Victor's smile twitches, his denial too quick. Max's growl grows louder, his body tense, and Clara whispers to Tom. He's lying. Max knows. Carver leans forward, her voice cutting through. Ms. Hayes, what's your dog doing? Clara stands, her voice steady. He's signaling danger, your honor. Victor's not telling the truth. The courtroom hums, and Clara feels Max's strength, a bond that's about to change everything. That night, Clara and Max slip into park with Lila, following Max's lead to a cave Reed once showed her. Max paws at a lockbox, his whine urgent. Lila pries it open, revealing Reed's notes. Pages exposing Greenpulse's plan to harvest the fur illegally, bypassing laws. Clara's hands shake as she reads, her heart breaking for Reed's fight. Max sniffs the ground, bolting to a clearing, digging until he uncovers a bloody glove, monogrammed VK Victor Klein. Clara's breath catches. This is it. Proof tying Victor to crime. Max's eyes are fierce, like he's saying, we've got him. They slip out, the glove hidden, but the forest feels alive, watching. Clara knows Greenpulse won't let this go, and Max's signal has put them in the crosshairs. A twig snaps as they leave the cave, and Clara freezes, Max's growl low. A man steps out, not Victor, but a thug, his knife glinting. Give me the glove, he snarls. Clara's heart pounds, but Max lunges, teeth bared, giving Lila time to taser the man. They run, Max leading the way, his instincts sharp. In Lila's truck, Clara clutches a glove, Max's warmth beside her. They're desperate, Lila says, her voice tense. Clara nods, her mind racing. Greenpulse knows they're close, and they'll do anything to stop them. Max's signal started this, and it's their only way out. They hide the glove, Max standing guard. Clara feels Reed's presence, his trust in Max guiding her. They're not safe, but they're not alone. Tom presents a glove to Judge Carver in a private hearing, arguing it ties Victor to Reed's murder. Carver skeptical but allows it, scheduling Victor for more questioning. In court, Max's paw taps as Victor takes a stand, his calm cracking. Tom holds up the glove. Your initials, Mr. Klein, found at the crime scene. Victor stammers, claiming it was stolen, but Max's growl is loud, his body tense. Carver watches, her interest piqued. I've seen dogs do remarkable things, she says, her voice thoughtful. Clara's heart lifts. Max is speaking, and the judge is listening. She whispers to Tom, he's our proof. Tom nods, pushing harder. The courtroom holds its breath. Max has signaled the key to unlocking the truth. Victor's voice rises, denying everything, but Max's growl peaks, his paw tapping frantically. Clara stands, her voice clear. Max is trained to signal danger, your honor. He's telling us Victor's lying. The jury murmurs, leaning in, and Carver's eyes lock on Max, seeing more than a dog. Tom presents Reed's notes, exposing Green Pulse greed. Victor had motive, he says, his voice steady. Victor's face twists, his composure gone. This is a setup, he shouts, but Max's signal is louder, a truth no one can ignore. Clara strokes Max, feeling his strength. He's their voice, their guide, and she knows Reed would be proud. The truth is close, but Victor's not done fighting. Green Pulse lawyers swarm, filing motions to dismiss the glove and notes. Clara feels their power, their money, pressing in. Lila finds a whistleblower, Sarah, who saw Victor with Reed the night he died. He was angry, Sarah says, her voice shaking. Said Reed was in the way. Clara's heart races. This is the break they need. Max sniffs Sarah's bag, his paw tapping. Clara frowns. What's in there? Sarah pulls out a USB drive, her hands trembling. Recordings. Victor talking about cleaning up Reed. Clara takes it, her resolve hardening. This could end it. But Green Pulse is watching. They plan to get the drive to court, but the roads are dangerous. Clara looks at Max, his eyes steady. We're in this together, boy, she says, and he barks, ready. Midnight brings trouble. A crash at the safe house door. Max's growl is a warning, his body low. Lila bursts in, her face pale. Green Pulsant man. Two thugs break through, grabbing for the glove. Max leaps, teeth sinking into an arm, giving Clara time to swing her flashlight, dropping one. Lila tasers the other, and they tie them up, Max standing guard. We need to move, Lila says, grabbing the evidence. They flee to a mountain cabin, Max in the back, his eyes alert. Clara's heart pounds, but his warmth keeps her steady. The glove and drive are safe, but Green Pulse is closing in. Clara knows Max's signal started this, and it'll finish it. At the cabin, Sarah shares more. Recordings of Victor planning Reed's murder, protecting Green Pulse profits. He thought no one would know, she says, her voice trembling. Clara's hands shake as she listens, Max's paw tapping beside her. He's signaling trust, telling her Sarah's real. They plan to get the drive to court, but Green Pulse men are everywhere. Clara hides it in Max's collar, his steady presence her anchor. You're my hero, she whispers, his eyes bright. Reed's trust in Max is alive, guiding them through the dark. The road to Pineview is a risk, but Clara's ready. Max's signal is their map, and they're following it to the end. Clara drives through back trails, Max in the passenger seat, his ears up. Green Pulse trucks tail them, headlights flashing in the dark. Clara's hands grip the wheel, her heart pounding as she dodges a blockade. Lila calls Tom, who's got Carver ready to hear the evidence. Just get here, he says. They reach the courthouse at dawn, slipping inside as Green Pulse men circle. Clara hands the drive to Tom, Max's paw tapping as Victor enters, his face a mask. She meets Carver's eyes, her voice firm. Max knew your honor. He's always known. The courtroom waits, Max's signal a beacon. Clara feels Reed's pride, his love, pushing her forward. Tom plays the recordings, Victor's cold voice admitting to Reed's murder, protecting Green Pulse secrets. The courtroom gasps, Victor's calm shattering. Max barks, his paw tapping, and Carver leans forward. That dog's been right all along, she says, her voice steady. Clara's heart swells. Max is their truth. She testifies, her voice clear, recounting Max's signals, the glove, the notes. He was Reed's partner too, she says. He knew Victor was dangerous. The jury watches, moved by her bond with Max, by his unwavering eyes. Victor's lawyers falter, the evidence too strong. Clara hugs Max, tears falling. They've done it. Expose the killer, save her life. But Green Pulse shadow lingers, and the fight's not over. Victor's arrest rocks Pineview. Green Pulse crime spilling into the open. The town, One's quick to judge Clara, rallies. Neighbors bring food. Kids draw pictures of Max. The local paper calls him the hero dog. And Clara smiles, her heart lighter but wary. Green Pulse reaches long, and she feels her eyes. Max paces, his ears up, sensing danger. Clara keeps him close, her voice soft. You saved me, boy. Tom pushes for a federal probe, but Clara knows Green Pulse won't go quietly. A note slips under her door. You can't stop us. Her blood chills, but Max's steady gaze says they will. She feels Reed's presence, his trust in Max guiding her. They've won a battle, but the war's still on. Pineview stands with Clara, the community center hosting rallies to save the park. Clara and Max lead hikes, teaching kids about the fern, Reed's legacy. Max is a star, kids petting him, their laughter healing old wounds. Clara keeps the glove, a reminder of the cost, but Max's warmth is her light. Tom stays close, his friendship a quiet strength. You and Max are something else, he says, his grin warm. Clara laughs. Petting Max, he's a hero. Lila joins them, her ranger skills now teaching kids to protect the wild. At night, Clara reads Reed's journal, Max at her feet. His words are alive, urging her to keep fighting, to keep loving. Lila's contacts warn of Marcus Tate, Green Pulse new executive, smarter and deadlier than Victor. Clara finds a tracker on her truck, proof they're still hunted. They want the fern, Lila says. Clara's heart races, but Max's calm eyes steady her. They need to end this. For Reed, for the park. Clara leaks a fake report, claiming she's found another fern sample. Tate bites, sending men to Ravens Creek. She and Max wait in the woods, Lila's camera ready, Max's senses sharp. His paw taps, a warning, and Clara knows they're close to the truth, but danger's closer. She feels Reed's spirit, his love for the park, in every step. Max's signal is their guide, and they're not backing down. Tate's men arrive at dusk, armed, silent. Clara hides with Max, his growl a whisper. Lila signals from a ridge, recording. Tate himself steps into the clearing, his voice cold. Find the fern. End this. Max's paw taps, his eyes on Tate, and Clara knows he's the real threat. She signals Max, who bolts, distracting the men. Clara tackles Tate, her ranger strength pinning him as Lila's taser hums. Police, tipped by Tom, swarm in, cuffing Tate. Max stands guard, his bark echoing. Clara hugs him, her voice thick. You did it, boy. The fern is safe, but Green Pulse shadow lingers. Clara knows this fight is bigger than one night, but Max's signal lit the way. Tate's arrest is the news. Green Pulse empire crumbling. Clara takes a stand, Max at her side, his paw tapping as she presents a glove. The notes, the recordings. Max knew, she says, her voice strong. He led us to the truth. The jury watches, moved by their bond, by Max's quiet wisdom. Carver dismisses Clara's charges, ordering a federal probe into Green Pulse. The courtroom cheers, Max barking, his tail high. Clara hugs him, tears falling. We did it, boy, she whispers, feeling Reed's pride, his love. But the park isn't safe yet. Clara knows Green Pulse roots run deep, and she and Max are protectors. Pineview comes alive, the community center a hub for saving the park. Clara and Max lead kids through the forest, teaching them Reed's lessons, planting ferns. Max is a hero, his signal's a legend. Clara smiles, her heart full, but keeps the glove, a reminder of what they fought for. Tom and Lila stand with her, their friendship a steady light. You and Max changed everything, Tom says. Clara shakes her head. Petting Max, he did. The town rallies, their love for the park growing. Reed's dream alive in every step. Clara feels in the wind, the trees, Max's steady gaze. They've won, but there's more to protect. Lila uncovers a Green Pulse subsidiary buying parkland, hidden in Reed's coded notes. Clara's heart sinks. They're not done. Max's ears twitch, his paw tapping as she finds survey markers near Ravens Creek. Digging. She uncovers a hidden camera. Green Pulse's eyes, still watching. She leaks the footage online, sparking protests. Pineview marches, kids carrying signs, Max leading the way. Tom files a lawsuit, using Reed's notes to prove the land's protected. Clara feels the weight, but Max's warmth keeps her strong. They're close to ending this. But Green Pulse is desperate, and Clara knows desperate enemies are the most dangerous. Green Pulse CEO, Evelyn Holt, comes to Pineview, offering millions to drop the lawsuit. Clara meets her at the center, Max growling, his paw tapping. Holt's smile is ice. "You can't win," she says. Clara stands tall, her voice fierce. "Watch us." She leaks Holt's offer online, and the backlash is swift. Investors pull out, Green Pulse empire cracks. Clara and Max stand at Ravens Creek, the fern glowing, the park safe. "We did it, boy," she says, his tail wagging. But peace is fragile. Clara knows they'll keep fighting for Reed, for the wild, for each other. Clara starts the Reed Foundation, using Green Pulse settlement to protect the park. Kids plant ferns, learn from Max. His signal's a story they'll carry forever. Clara teaches Reed's lessons, her voice steady, Max at her side. He's their hero, his paw tapping a rhythm of hope. Tom and Lila help, their bond of family forged in fire. The glove sits in a drawer, a memory of the fight, not the pain. Clara feels Reed in every fern, every laugh, his love alive in Pineview. At night, she and Max sit by the creek, the stars bright. "We're keeping your dream alive," she whispers, knowing Reed hears. Clara hands a foundation to Lila, who's fought as hard as she has. "It's Reed's, not mine," she says, smiling. Lila's eyes well up. "You and Max are family." Clara nods, petting Max, his warmth her home. She lives simply, patrolling the park, teaching kids to love the wild. The glove stays tucked away, its weight gone. Max's signals guide her, his love her strength. Pineview is a sanctuary, Reed's legacy growing in every fern, every trail. Clara feels in the wind, the water, Max's steady gaze. They built something lasting, something true. The park thrives, kids painting murals, planting ferns, their laughter echoing. Clara leads hikes, Max trotting ahead, his ears up. Pineview calls them heroes, but Clara shrugs it off. "Max did it," she says, his tail high. They're a team unbreakable, their bond a light in the dark. Tom and Lila join them, sharing stories by the creek. The glove is a memory, not a burden. Clara feels Reed's pride, his love, in every step. Max's signals save them. Save the park. Save her heart. Under the stars, Clara whispers to Max, "We're home." His eyes shine, saying it back. The foundation grows, kids learning, dreaming, thriving. Clara sees Reed in their smiles, Max's signals in their hope. She teaches him the track, to protect, Max at her side. Tom and Lila are family now. Their laughter balmed old wounds. The glove rests in a drawer, a piece of the past. Clara wears Max's love, his signals, like a badge. Pineview's alive, a town reborn, and Clara feels whole, her heart full of Reed, Max, and the wild. She sits by the creek, Max's head in her lap. "We did it," she says, the stars answering, bright and true. Clara and Max return to Ravens Creek, the fern glowing under moonlight. She sets a stone by the water, carved with Reed's name. "You taught us," she says, her voice soft. Max's paw taps gently, a signal of peace, and Clara smiles, tears falling. Kids from the foundation join, leaving flowers, their voices bright. "This is for you, Alan," Clara says, feeling his presence. Max barks, his tail high, and she knows he feels it too. The park is safe, the truth alive, thanks to a dog who saw what no one else could. They sit by the water, the wind warm, Reed's love in every ripple. Clara and Max are home. Clara and Max sit by the creek. The sky a sea of stars. The foundation thrives, the park alive, Reed's dream growing. Max's head rests on her lap, his eyes bright. "You knew, didn't you?" she whispers, his warmth her anchor. The stars shine, Reed's answer in their light. A kid runs up, holding a drawing, a German shepherd under a fern, a hero's signal. "For Max," she says. Clara hugs her, tears falling. This is their life, built on love, trust, a dog's quiet wisdom. Pineview glows, a town reborn, and Clara knows they won, not just a fight, but a future. Subscribe and hit the bell for stories of loyalty, courage, and love that never fades.